Hi, I'm Rob Schmidt, and you are in the Strategy Room. Former President Bill Clinton is taking his own hits now at Republican nominee Donald Trump by accusing his slogan, "Make America Great Again," of being racist. The irony of the situation is that Clinton himself used this same slogan in an ad campaign for his wife in 2008. Or should he keep his accusations to himself? That's the question. Here with reaction, our strategy advisor at Applied Techonomics, Jeanne Zaino, and Republican strategist Brian Morgenstern. And welcome to you both. Jeanne, we're going to start with you. What did he mean when he said that this is a racist slogan?
You know, that struck me as a very, very odd thing for him to say. Not for him to say that the Trump campaign has been using race in a fashion in which it shouldn't. I think that is a fair assessment of the Trump campaign. But to argue that the slogan itself was racist, particularly given the fact that he used the slogan several years ago, is something that struck me as very odd. And for Bill Clinton to make a political hiccup like that is not something you see a lot. He is a master politician. So the only thing I can say strategically is that perhaps he knew tying the slogan to the issue of racism in the campaign would get him more attention than just a flat-out claim of racist behavior on the part of the Trump campaign.
And you wonder, did he never remember saying that? Because we saw the montage like 3 or 4 times.
A lot of times. And so to me, it was questionable, you know, as to why he even brought it up in that context.
That's what I was curious about, too. Are these accusations out of line, Brian?
Yeah, I think they're wrong and they're strategically flawed as well. Considering the fact that it wasn't just in 2008 in support of his wife's campaign in that year. He also used it in support of his own campaign when he ran for president in the early 90s. Yeah. So, yeah, that's a whoops moment, big time. And the way he delivered it was reminiscent to me of Obama's mea culpa, where he spoke of, Southern white people as clinging to their guns and religion, or, an insensitive comment like that, and he took heat over it, which he deserved, and he apologized for it. And this way that Bill Clinton has sort of maligned Southern white people and said, "I am one. I know how." I mean, like, holy moly, like he's fallen off the rails here a little bit. So this is a whoops that I
did hear him say Southern white men or something like that, and I'm looking like, you're from Arkansas. Anyway, Kellyanne Conway, the Trump campaign manager, said this is a disgrace. What do you make of that?
I think yes, Kellyanne is right to say that in defense of her candidate. And I do think that Bill Clinton went too far on this one. The slogan is not the issue. But that said, there have been elements of the Trump campaign which have used racial and ethnic slurs. We all know what they are. We've heard them ad nauseum. To pretend they're not there, I think, is untrue. And I think Bill Clinton would have been much wiser to say, hey, look, we don't need this kind of rhetoric in our campaign. We don't need you when you're announcing for the run for the presidency to talk about Mexicans in the way that you did. We don't need you to talk about a federal judge, a sitting, respected federal judge, in the way that you did. So, Donald Trump has plenty of gaffes or horribly racist rhetoric to point to. So to take this out and use it in that way, I think was a problem and a mistake on his part.
There was a lot of other ammo there.
There's a lot there.
You've actually said before. It just seems like maybe he just thought nobody would remember that. He talks all the time, I guess. So, Brian, your final thoughts?
Yeah, there are ways, not that I'm in the business of advising the Clinton campaign, but if I were, I would probably touch on some of the comments that Jeanne just mentioned and try to paint the picture of we're inclusive, they're exclusive. We're, trying to make the country more cohesive, they're being divisive. And bringing up some of these comments about the judge and about how he opened his campaign with, talking about people flooding through the border, things like that. Again, there's plenty of ammo. This made no sense, and so he's going to have to walk it back. But look, it's a couple months away. He's not the candidate. This is not a, it's not a make or break.
It's a mistake, and they happen. You see it all the time. All right. Jeanne, Brian, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
For complete coverage of the 2016 election, go to foxnews.com. I'm Rob Schmidt. Thanks for watching.